Mabel's just like, one day, I shall, the love of my life will walk through that doorway. And fucking what walks through that doorway is Grunkle Stan, who appears to be very bloated. And just, looking fatter than usual, and just goes, that doesn't feel good. Oh, he's got the bubbly guts, chat. Hello, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my video, and I also wanted to let you know that not only do I create content here on Class in the Glass, but I also stream content in my Twitch channel, Mr. Revan7. I play single-player games, multiplayer games, and I also do movie reviews and cartoon reviews as well. I also want to encourage you to check out my Patreon, Class in the Glass, where I offer audio commentaries, full reactions for movies, and also the ability to submit questions for my video casts and podcasts. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and enjoy the video.
Ah, dude!
Don't lose your cameras.
Wait, lose the cameras?
Don't!
Dude, I just threw 2 away. I'm always noticing weird stuff in this town.
Coming this summer to Disney Channel.
We must go ahead and review Gravity Falls Episode 1, chat. Episode 1, Tourist Trapped. Because, chat, we are following the precocious characters of Dipper and Mabel, chat. Dipper and Mabel Pine, and they are currently vacationing with their Grunkle Stan, chat. Their Grunkle Stan. But despite that, they're going to have a nice, relaxing summer with their Grunkle, which is the Grunkle, chat. That's their great uncle, but they call him Grunkle. It's a funny name, chat. It's a funny name. And despite we're going to have a nice, enjoyable time in Oregon. We're going to relax. We're going to fucking eat hot dogs. We're going to, hang out in the park and everything. It's going to be great. But no explosion. A lot of explosion in this episode, chat, because all of a sudden we see fucking Dipper and Mabel Pine, chat, and they're in a golf cart, and Mabel's just like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. She's in a total fucking panic, and Dipper's like, it don't go any faster. And what is behind them, chat? A fucking giant, a monster of some sort. And it is nearly every time it reaches out, chat, with its giant clawed hand, just nipping at the edge of this golf cart, chat. Fucking Dipper, he somehow manages to get away from its grasp each and every time. But he's coming upon a crevasse, chat, and the golf cart, it freezes in midair, and Dipper's calm narration comes in and says, I'm sure you're wondering why me and my sister are being chased by an abomination creature. Let me tell you, our parents thought it would be great. It would be so goddamn good for us to get nature, to take in that fucking fresh air. And so they sent us to live with our Grunkle Stan, our great Uncle Stan, in Gravity Falls, Oregon. Now, Grunkle Stan, he's a con artist who settled down this area, and he's a local huckster, chat. He has established a mystery shack where he just tricks and fools and bamboozles visitors and residents, chat. Showcasing stuff like the Crocs Swatch, the goddamn Croc Swatch, chat, which is basically the Sasquatch, except he just has boxer briefs on, chat, and he's got the fucking stone of face. It's a fucking stone with a face on it, and these people are fucking amazed at all this stuff. And Dipper and Mabel, they're like, this isn't the most interesting thing in the world, and they like their uncle. He's okay, but this is not their idyllic summer, especially for Dipper, chat. He'd rather be back home reading his book on the internet, chat. But Mabel, she's making the best of it. Dipper, he's very self-serious, chat. He's obsessive. He's of extreme obsessive-compulsive disorder. It is obvious. And he's a little lonely. Mabel, she tries to make the best of her circumstances, chat. She's a young woman, and she's growing up, chat, and she's looking for a boyfriend. She wants to have a hot summer romance, chat, with some man in Gravity Falls. And sadly, though, they're both kind of busy since Grunkle Stan is forcing them to work in the mystery shack, chat. They're fucking doing inventory, setting up the stock, chat, putting out the little Grunkle Stan bobbleheads, chat. They're adorable. I want a Grunkle Stan bobblehead so goddamn bad, chat. We're introduced some other employees of the mystery chat. We're introduced to Seuss, who is the handyman, chat, and he's always giving good advice to Dipper and Mabel. He's on very good terms with them. He's a great guy, chat. May appear a little slow, but he's very earnest, and he's actually surprisingly intelligent, chat. And then we have Wendy, which Dipper might have a bit of a crush on, and she's kind of like an apathetic teenager, but you could tell underneath, chat, underneath that young teenage exterior chat, there's a goddamn heart of gold. You know, and fucking Grunkle Stan, he has to work with all this chicanery going on. He's like, all right, fucking Dipper, Mabel, I know you want to go have your fucking summer romance and all that bullshit, but listen, I need you to put out these signs out here. And Mabel, she fucking takes off because she's smart. Her fight or flight instinct is very good, Chad. It's very sound. She takes off. And he's like, all right, whatever. Seuss, can you put up these signs for me? And he's like, I've got to fix your shit, bro. I have literally everything is falling apart. You have asbestos in the ceiling. How long have you been breathing this in? Grunkle Stan's like, doesn't matter. It fucking breeds character. And Seuss can't do it, and he's looking at Wendy. He's like, Wendy, can you put it up? And Wendy, she's just fucking at the cashier's like, I do it, but I just can't reach it. And he's like, I should fire all of you, but sadly, I can't afford to. But I hate all of you. Dipper, you're the slowest one. You have to do this. So he sends poor Dipper out there to put up all these signs to the Mystery Shack chat. And Dipper's just miserable. He'd rather be online or reading some good old book shit. He's a reader. Eventually, he's just fucking nailing all these signs to the trees until he comes to one tree, hits a nail, but oh no, it didn't go through. Matter of fact, this tree sounded like metal. He's like, wait a minute, there's a compartment here. And he rips the compartment off of the tree chat, and he finds a book. He finds a book inside, and he can't fucking believe it. It's like, what the hell? Oh, not a book, Chad, not a book, not yet. He finds a contraption. He finds like a levy pulley system. He's like, what is this? And he fucking presses one of the levers, Chad, and behind him, he hears it. The ground has parted, and he goes over there, Chad, and he opens it up, another compartment, and there's a book with a 6-digit handprint, Chad, with a golden 6-digit handprint with a fucking 3 scrawled on. He goes, what is this? He doesn't understand it, chat, but he's like, he takes it and he opens up the pages and it's filled with all sorts of journal entries on the flora and fauna of Gravity Falls, chat, and the supernatural entities that reside in this supernatural town. Everything from vampires to zombies to werewolves to gnomes to monsters, chat, of all kinds. He can't believe. He's like, what is this? And the first entry he sees, written by someone he doesn't even know, chat, is like, in my times at Gravity Falls, I have learned to do one thing and one thing only: trust no one. And fucking Dipper, he goes back and he's obsessively reading this book. Mabel, she's fucking bouncing on the bed because she's hopped up on goddamn sugar the entire time. That's all she cares about. And she's like, where are you reading that book? Is that all nerd stuff? And he's like, it is some nerd stuff, and I'm liking it. And he's like, well, what are you going to do? She's like, is that what you're going to do all day tomorrow? Is just read that book? He goes, absolutely. This is some fine American literature. What are you going to do, Mabel? And she's like, I'm going to actively try to experience a summer romance. I'm a young woman, and it's what I desire. And he's like, you've been trying to do that for the past 48 hours. And it cuts to various scenes of her just assaulting and harassing other people, other children, chat. I mean, just fucking writing love letters. Do you like me? Yes, absolutely. Oh, definitely, absolutely. It's just like, and there's like no option. She's like, I rigged it. He has to pick one. She's harassing the goddamn a mattress boy who's trying to sell mattresses at the goddamn hardwood store, just fucking surprising him, scaring him away. Amazing. Mabel is an incredible character. Who the fuck voices Mabel? She does such a goddamn good job. I know that Jason Ritter, John Ritter's son, voices Dipper, chap. Whoever fucking voices Mabel Pines is absolutely incredible. She's just an actress. Alex Hirsch, chat. Alex Hirsch. She's such a fantastic voice actress. And that's what she wants. She just wants to find a boyfriend. But then next morning, chat, she's just, they're the good old Dipper and Mabel. They're talking to each other and everything. And, Dipper, he's still reading that book. And, Mabel's just like, one day, I shall, the love of my life will walk through that doorway. And fucking what walks through that doorway is Grunkle Stan, who appears to be very bloated. And just, looking fatter than usual, and just goes, that doesn't feel good. Oh, he's got the bubbly guts, chat. And she just goes, oh my God, no. It's horrifying. And the day continues on. And eventually, chat's like a half hour later. Cut to like a half hour later. She says, I have found the love of my life. And Dipper's like, it's only been a half hour. Yes. and I found him. I would like to introduce, because Grunkle stands there, fucking Dipper's there. He's reading, he doesn't want to show the book to Grunkle stands, so he's reading a fucking magazine. Gold Chains for Old Men Monthly. And Grunkle stands like, that's a good goddamn issue right there. He's like, oh, gross. But Mabel, this is my boyfriend, and this fucking swamp creature that appears from the doorway, chat, is like, my name is Normal Boy, and she goes, yes, that's a funny way to say Norman, but this is Norman, and Dipper's like, this guy's fucked up and weird. He's got very pale skin, chat. He looks like he hasn't slept in a goddamn week. He looks apparently very, very smelly. Clothes are disheveled and dirty. And even Dipper, he's just like, hello, Norman. Is that blood on your face? And he's like, no. It's like just blood's just dripping down. Like, where's that? It's jam. And Mabel's like, oh my God. Jam. I love jam. There's something. You feel this? You feel this right now? And Dipper's like, yeah, nice to meet you. He's like, all right, everyone, I'm going to go out with Norman. We're going to go on a date. And Dipper's like, this is weird. Eventually, he goes back upstairs. Shetty goes back upstairs, and he's reading the book, and he comes to the chapter of the undead, and all the things that he found with Norman, chat, all the attributes, those are also attributes of the undead. He's like, wait a minute, what the hell is going on? And he's like, this is crazy. No, it can't be real, can't be real. And then fucking Seuss is like, probably is real, bro. He goes, oh! It's like Seuss is just there repairing a fucking light bulb. He's like, how long have you been here? He's like, I've been here the whole time, bro. Why you always talk to yourself, bro? And he's like, I think Mabel's boyfriend might be a zombie. And he goes, did you see him eat any brains at this current time? Dipper's like, no. He's like, zombies eat brains, bro. If he's not eating brains, then he probably isn't a zombie. And he's like, yeah, but I don't know. I'm worried for Mabel. He's like, here's the thing, bro. Here's my advice to you, okay? Why don't you go ahead and watch him to see if he displays any zombie behavior, okay? And then once you collect enough evidence, present it to Mabel, and then you can save her from it. And fucking Dipper's like, that's actually a good idea, Soup. You always give the wisest advice. Yes, I am a sage. I'm here for you, bro. That's how people always say that about me. And then off camera, you hear Grunkle Stan going, hey, Seuss. The fucking porta potties are plugged up again. How do you plug up a porta potty? I don't know. You gotta go in and fix them. He's like, I must leave you now, bro. And he fucking backs into the shadows. He goes out there, chat. And then we just follow Dipper observing Mabel and Norman, chat. And he starts to notice, like, okay, he's weird, but maybe he's not a zombie, because the first thing he sees kind of like Norman going up to Mabel and grab her by the shoulders, chat, but he just presents her with a daisy necklace, and it's like, oh, okay. At one point, they're fucking walking through a graveyard, as you do, hopping through a graveyard, chat, frolicking through a graveyard. He falls into an open pit, hand comes out very zombie-like, but, he's just, he just starts laughing. Mabel starts laughing. He gets out of the pit. It's like, They eventually go to a restaurant, and apparently Norman doesn't know how doors work, and he smashes his fucking fist through it, opens it for her, and his hand is profusely bleeding, but Mabel wraps it up for him, and Dipper's just like, this is fucking weird. Doesn't make any goddamn sense. Dark Side of the vibe is either someone has really backed up, or someone's been stuffing dead bodies in those porta potties. Probably the latter. Would not be surprised. Oh, because computer, hey, I have a sleepy pill that reads CF like Gravity Falls. Cool. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. But eventually, Dipper, he's like, okay, maybe he's, and he has like, maybe he's not a zombie, because he's been recording all this footage all day, and everything that he's seen, he seems to be relatively normal, a little weird, little eccentric maybe, but yeah, he's not. He seems to like Mabel. They seem to be having a good time. I was worried over nothing. He's watching this footage, chat, and he stops in this one shot of goddamn Norman with his hand around Mabel, and his fucking hand just falls off, and he goes, wait a minute, and he watches Norman put the fucking hand back on, and he goes, oh my God, I'm right, and he fucking runs off. He's like, I gotta save Mabel. And eventually he's trying to get Grunkle stand. He's, God, Dipper, I'm trying to sell shitty products to shitty people, shitty dumb people, okay? I don't want to be with your childlike shenanigans, okay? There's no time. I need to make money. Time is money, and you are wasting my money and time. Get the hell out of here. And the kid's like, fuck. You know, Seuss, he is fucking, armed, he's fucking like up to his arms chat and poop, so he can't help it. But good old Wendy, she rolls up in the golf cart, and Dipper's like, Wendy, I need to borrow your golf cart. It's a life and death situation with my sister. And she goes, keys are in the glove compartment, bro. Enjoy yourself. And he fucking gets in that fucking golf cart chat and he takes off. Meanwhile, we cut to Mabel and Norman. They are walking through Gravity Falls Woods, but Norman suddenly stops and he goes, Mabel, I have to tell you something. Mabel's like, oh, what do you got? Tell me, Norman. Is it something romantic? He goes, all right, I mean, you promise you won't be scared of what you see? And she goes, no, of course not. No, of course not. Show me, tell me whatever you need to tell me. He's like, okay. And he slowly unzips his hoodie chat. She's like, please be a vampire. Please be a vampire. Please be a vampire. Like a sparkly fucking Twilight vampire chat. And he unzips his coat chat and throws off his coat. And it's just a bunch of gnomes. It's like 5 gnomes with one on top. Jeff, and he goes, hi, my name's Jeff. And she goes, what the fuck? This is a bunch of gnomes. And he's like, yeah, this one's name is Bill, and this one's Alex. That one's Fred. And I'm sorry, I don't know your name. And this is like super derpy gnome. It shows, my name is Schmeckledorf. And it's just like, yeah, Schmeckledorf. He's a little slow. He's like, hey, so, know this might be a little overwhelming for you, but we want a queen. Our last queen has absconded, and you seem kind of nice, and so could you marry all of us and breed with us to create more gnomes? Huh? Yeah? And Mabel's just like, yeah, it's a lot to take in, and I appreciate the courtship and everything. I'm honored, but I'm a human girl. You're a bunch of gnomes. And it's just kind of awkward. Yeah. And they go, Jeff's like, Mabel, I totally understand. That's why we're just going to kidnap you. And she's like, what? And they fucking, does it smell like chloroform to you, Mabel? And they knock her the fuck out. And they drag her away into their gnome crevasse chat, the home of the gnomes. But Dipper, he's like, I'm going to come for you, Mabel. And he sees someone dragging off Mabel. And he's in the golf cart and he parks the fucking golf cart. And he sees Mabel, she's come to. And that she is surrounded by gnomes. And they're already performing the wedding ceremony. Got fucking Schmeckledorf just fucking honking at something. And then right before Jeff the gnome was about to smooch Mabel, fucking Dipper's like, hey, what the fuck's going on here? And she's like, oh, shit, gnomes. I was completely wrong. I thought zombies and shit. And Jeff's like, we kidnapped your sister so she can marry all of us and produce our brood. And Dipper's like, that's weird and gross, man. Does Mabel want to do that? Mabel's like, the fuck? No, I don't want to do that. Dipper, save me. He's like, okay. And they start fighting all these gnomes off, chat. At one point, fucking Mabel kicks this gnome so hard in his little gnome balls, chat, that he just begins vomiting rainbows. This just for like a straight minute, chat. You just see this gnome. And they even cut back to the end credits of this gnome just vomiting rainbows. And eventually, Dipper's grabbing, let's get the fuck out of here. They all get on the golf cart. He's like, buckle up for safety. And they're like, excellent. Seatbelt, let's go. But Jeff's pissed. He's like, dog, don't you dare underestimate us gnomes. We are a proud race, a proud species, and we will get our brood queen. And then, chat, they all start to become an amalgamation. They all start to form a giant gnome creature. And that's the creature that was chasing. The abomination creature that was chasing Dipper and Mabel chat. And this thing's trying to fucking grab them. They're like, oh my God, what the fuck? And Dipper's just like, oh, don't worry, that can't catch us. But you see their whittle legs, not going to do anything. And then they see that, oh shit. And then, chat, we cut to the part where they did that freeze frame. And Dipper's like, see, I told you, there's some weird fucking shit happening in this place. Eventually, chat, they do get back to the mystery shack, but they crash the fucking golf cart. And the gnomes are upon them. And the gnomes are just about to smush Mabel and Dipper. Chat, Mabel's just like, I gotta do this, brother. I gotta do this. She's like, no, we gotta run. We gotta keep running. We can keep going. She's like, no, just trust me. Dipper, the first time in your life, just trust me. He goes, I trust you. And Mabel's like, stop, stop, stop. And Jeff the gnome stops. And she's like, I'll marry you. I'm sorry. I've seen the error of my ways. I will marry you. And Jeff's just like, hot damn, let's fucking do this. And he climbs down all the gnomes. And, you know, Mabel, fucking Jeff presents her with the ring. And she fucking puts the ring on. And, you know, she's like, and she's like, oh, Jeff's like, oh, shit. You want to do it right here? Okay, all right. I mean, I'm a little embarrassed, but hell, let's do it. And so, well, this is happening, chat, fucking right before they're about to start smooching. And we cut back to another scene earlier, too, where Mabel was practicing kissing a picture of Norman with the leaf blower that fucking leaves her with a giant welt on her face. And she returns with that same leaf blower, chat. And she sucks up Jeff the gnome, chat. And he's like, "Arr!" He's like getting all of his entrails, chat. Remember that, like, in the Final Destination movie, chat, we forget which one, but when the guy is at the bottom of the pool and all the water starts to get sucked out and he has all of his intestines sucked out through his ass, like all of his insides sucked out through his ass, chat, that's what happens to Jeff the gnome. And so as Jeff the gnome is having all of his entrails sucked out of his asshole, Mabel goes, fuck you, and her and Dipper are holding the goddamn leaf blower, which become a gnome entrail sucking machine, chat, and they reverse it, and Jeff and his entrails and shit and piss and viscera hit the gnome creature, and it blasts apart, chat, and all the gnomes begin flying over the goddamn place. They're like, ah! And they start to be eaten, chat, by the birds and shit and by wild animals. It's hilarious. But the gnome threat is over for now. And, you know, Dipper and Mabel, it's like, yeah, sometimes they fight, sometimes they disagree, but they have each other's back every single time. And so as they walk back into the shop, chat, Grunkle Stan's like, where you kids been all day? It's like, we just been hanging out with each other, you had a good time? We having a good time, Grunkle Stan. Thanks for asking. And Grunkle Stan's like, hey, glad you kids are having a good time, actually. How about you get a prize from the fucking shop? Anything you want. And they go, really? Are you sure? And he's like, listen, it's a one chance, one opportunity, okay? All right, so go ahead and pick something. And he go, all right. And Dipper lost his hat during the golf cart chase, chat, and he finds his iconic blue with the little pine tree hat. Puts it on. It's like, oh, this is actually pretty good. This suits me. It suits me. And Mabel has found a grappling hook. And Grunkle Stan's like, wouldn't you like a doll or something? She goes, no. She launches it into the air. She goes like 5 feet. Grappling hook. And she's so excited about the grappling hook, chat. Eventually, cuts back to their bedroom in the attic, chat, with all the asbestos has coalesced in the asbestos attic. And, you know, Dipper, he has started writing in the journal. He's like, no, I remember reading the first page of this journal, and it told me not to trust anyone. But I learned to trust someone who I should have trusted from the very beginning, which is my sister. We have each other's back. And there's a lot of weird things here. But thanks to our family, we can get through these things together. And then, chat, we cut to the downstairs where we see Grunkle Stan. And he seems to be, he's moved from the kitchen, chat, got himself like a cup of water or something. Think, oh, he's going to go back upstairs. No, chat. He starts to put a code inside the vending machine. And the vending machine, it opens up. And he moves it, chat. And there's it's a stairwell leading down to the basement. It's like, that's weird. And then Grunkle Stan, he steps in there. And he closes the machine and just looks at us. And ta! And that, my friends, is Gravity Falls Episode 1. Tourist Trap. What is the mystery with Grunkle Stan? We shall soon learn, chat. We shall soon learn. But yeah, I love this show. If you guys have never seen Gravity Falls, highly recommend it, chat. It's 40 episodes. All of it is on Disney Plus right now. It's fun. I mean, listen. It's meant for kids, but there's a lot of innuendo. There's a lot of mature storytelling and jokes in this, and I'm just like, how'd you get that past the censors? Goddamn, good for you, Alex Hirsch. He's a genius, chap, this Alex Hirsch kid. And he voices half the characters. Grunkle, Stan, Seuss, several others as well. Goddamn, who else does he voice? I don't even want to reveal who he voices, chat. Bill voices Bill. Good stuff.